Hello, gentle viewers, and welcome to another edition of Healthy Living, where we meet Paul Nison, a raw food chef from the United States. He is the author of the best-selling book, The Raw Life: Becoming Natural in an Unnatural World. Through his own experience, Mr. Nison found that many so-called incurable diseases can be healed by following a vegan, raw food diet and maintaining a healthy lifestyle. Raw foods are formally defined as foods that are uncooked or cooked at temperatures below 49 degrees Celsius. Paul Nison's exploration of raw foods began at age 20 when he was diagnosed with Crohn's disease, a type of inflammatory bowel disease. In our interview, Mr. Nison will share his knowledge about the links between health and diet.
I had been diagnosed with inflammatory bowel disease, which is also known as ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease. It's inflammation of the colon.
Anytime you have a disease that ends in the letters ITIS, it means it's inflammation somewhere in the body. Pancreatitis, arthritis. I couldn't even drink water without being in excruciating pain. And when I would go to the bathroom, my intestines were so inflamed, the only thing that would come out was blood. I was in excruciating pain, and I wasn't able to assimilate any nutrients from food. And they just put me on drugs with really bad side effects. I realized if I didn't die from my illness, I was going to die from the side effects of the drugs. So I had to do something different. And that's when I found out about the raw food diet, and I started eating that way. I did a lot of juicing and so on, and I got well again, and I went on a raw food diet, and I've been doing it 100% since with no problem. And I go around the world teaching people how to overcome their illnesses by eating a healthier diet.
Mr. Nison suggests that people eat organic vegetables and fruits.
The highest quality food we can eat is raw, ripe, fresh, organic, live fruits, vegetables, and sprouted nuts and seeds. So that should be a big part of the diet, majority of it leaning towards the chlorophyll-rich vegetables and the sprouts. A small amount of fruit. Sprouts is a big part of the thing. So sunflower sprouts, wheatgrass, even legume sprouts, they're very good. And then it would be the chlorophyll-rich greens, the sea vegetables, the salad greens, and then the algae, the spirulina, chlorella. And then from there you could have other raw foods, salad greens, and so on. Very minimal amount of sugar. If somebody has cancer or other diseases that are caused by sugar, should be completely avoided.
Many studies have shown that consuming meat and dairy products creates very negative consequences for one's health.
When you're eating meat, the body has to work very hard to get those nutrients, and the waste of that meat rots in the system, creating an acidic environment. When you take raw dairy, and especially like from a cow or from a big animal, and you process it by cooking it, heating it, and then putting drugs and chemicals in it. And if you keep putting things that the body can't recognize or shouldn't be in there, eventually the body is going to react, and inflammation is just the latest sign of disease.
According to Paul Nison, aside from a balanced diet, the number of meals we consume is also important in determining health.
What I would be recommending to people is they strive to eat 2 times a day, and maybe the first meal might be something like an almond milk or even a green vegetable juice or even some fruit, and the second meal would be maybe a big salad. And if you are eating cooked food, you can eat some cooked food with the salad. Most people will feel more comfortable eating 3 times a day, and that's fine.
Why does Mr. Nison feel the timing of meals is important?
When the sun goes down, digestion slows down, and when the sun is up, that's when we should be digesting our food, eating the majority of our meals. At nighttime, that's when the cleansing should be taking place, but if we're eating food, it's stopping that cleansing or slowing it down. We have to understand the moon has a gravitational pull on the ocean waters, but it also has a gravitational pull on our body's waters, and it helps cleanse the body, moving along the lymph and so on.
When we return, Paul Nison will discuss how a healthy diet can boost immunity, thus helping to prevent swine flu. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television.
People need the information because there's a lot of people out there that are suffering. And I tell everyone, you do not need to suffer. I had an incurable disease. Just because it's incurable by the medical society doesn't mean it's incurable. And I got well again. And I see people every day of my life that make the right choices and overcome these incurable diseases.
Welcome back to Healthy Living here on Supreme Master Television, where we're speaking with Paul Nison, an esteemed raw food chef and author from the United States. He has written the best-selling book, The Raw Life, Becoming Natural in an Unnatural World, which is an introduction to the raw food diet. Last summer, the World Health Organization declared swine flu a global pandemic. The health body is warning that by the time the pandemic abates, possibly a third of the world will have contracted this virus. What are some effective ways to protect ourselves from this disease? Mr. Nison provides some answers.
We have to have a healthy immune system to help fight these things off. Swine flu, whatever else, nothing suppresses the body quicker than stress. Regardless if you're eating a healthy diet or not, if you're getting stressed out and not getting enough rest and sleep, your immune system is going to be very low and very weak. So we have to have joy in our life in what we're doing. As for diet, we have to eat the foods that you can put in the ground and they'll grow into another food, the fruits and the vegetables, and get away from the processed food. I don't believe in using the drugs that have a lot of effects to them that doctors give. I believe in using the natural things that we should be using, like essential oils, can help kill germs pretty good. And then you have other oils like peppermint oil that can help build the immune system and strengthen it for when these issues come. We're already strong. So E3 Live is a liquid algae. It's a wonderful food and builder of the immune system. So is wheatgrass, and all of these green foods are. So more greens will really help protect people.
Have you ever counseled anyone who had any kind of a viral infection?
Oh, all the time.
And what was the most effective thing that you prescribed for them to get over it?
Probiotics work with life. So probiotics will really help clean the intestinal flora and get rid of the bad and replace it with the good. On top of that, you add the chlorophyll-rich green juices, like the wheatgrass. You get the oxygen back in the body, the E3 Live, the algae. Those really help tremendously. And basically essential oils to help build the body up, natural herbs. But basically, those are the main things. And maintenance, being on a good diet to help them avoid getting sick again. It's not difficult to overcome these things when your mindset is in the right place and you have good guidance.
With regard to disease in general, Mr. Nison believes that pure blood is another key factor in maintaining good health.
Every disease, from candida to cancer and everything in between, can only thrive in a non-oxidated environment. So we have to keep our blood clean, flowing with oxygen. And yeah, we could breathe really well, but from a diet standpoint, the oxygen is found as in the chlorophyll that's found in green plants and so on. So we need more chlorophyll in our body, but what takes the oxygen out of our system is the sugar, because sugar ferments, creating a toxic gas that you can't see, but it's still there, and it really creates problems in the bloodstream with a lack of oxygen. When we eat high sugar foods, especially when we miscombine them or eat too much or eat too late, but in general, when we eat too much sugar, it stays in the body and it ferments, and that fermentation creates that lack of oxygen in the bloodstream. So we really have to be careful with the amount of sugar.
Is there any other message that we haven't touched on that you'd like to?
First thing we need to understand is it's not just what we eat. So many people involved in the health field today, they're just looking at what the food is, but we have to look at how much and the time we eat. The temperance movement in the 1800s in this country spoke about not overdoing things, practicing temperance in all things, especially with diet. So not overeating things, and also not eating late at night, not eating when it's dark outside, because when the sun goes down, digestion slows down.
We would like to thank Mr. Paul Nison for kindly informing us about how the vegan raw food diet and a wholesome lifestyle can help overcome illness, and for sharing his insights about maintaining optimal health. If all follow a diet free of animal products, we will enjoy true well-being and vitality. For more about Paul Nison or The Raw Life, Becoming Natural in an Unnatural World, please visit www.paulnison.com. Thoughtful viewers, thank you for your company on today's edition of Healthy Living. Coming up next is Science and Spirituality, following noteworthy news. May we all be embraced by heaven's love and light forever.
For more details, please see www.suprememastertv.com/HL.